I'm a listing agent. I'm a listing agent. Currently, I have 23 listings. I had 27, but I'm selling them quickly. And most of the agents are having a difficult time. And I sell from low homes to luxury homes. I do them all. Okay. Then if you want to confirm my sales, you scroll here, you can see all the sales. Okay. More importantly, you can see the clients are happy with my reviews. Hey, do I admit this person or are you admitting people in?
I'm taking care of that.
It just popped up. I hit the admit button. All right,
Actually,
so that confirms I am listing properties. Then I have so many, these are the ones that I go to. And if it's too far for me, my team goes. There's January, I went, team went. Here's March, I went, team went. You guys get the idea. So what I'm going to show you at the moment is, and the only reason you don't have to believe me, but I would say take some of my suggestions. The moment you guys think you know everything, I don't know everything. I listened to Gabe. Me and Gabe were having dinner, and that's when first time I got to meet Gabe. He rolls up in this car, he's rolling up, and he gets into this jet, him and I together. And I was like, who is this guy? So that was when I first opened my eyes to influencers, and I learned from Gabe, and we hooked up pretty well. So just to let you know, I've gone through these recessions, so I know how to shift in every single one of them. At the moment, I'm going to show you the tools that I'm utilizing that you can use at any level. You could do this for one person, a team, or a big team. My personal income last year was $1.2 million personally. And then with my team, I did another $3 million, which I get to share in some of that. So you could do this for one person or a big team. So we're going to go ahead and show you what I utilize. The first one is problem solving, guys. Right now, when you walk into a listing, these clients, the consumer has a problem. They have a divorce. They don't know how to sell the property because they're arguing. Today, you have a lot of new people coming on where they have an executor, but the mom and dad who were 85, because a lot of baby boomers are going to start to pass away, they're putting all kids on a living trust, and they're all signers. That's a big problem. So you need to know how to do problem solving. The next one is Google presence. Right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you a quick experiment, right? And I'm going to go to Google. I know who Monica Singer is. So if I type in Monica, she's done a darn good job in promoting herself. So when I go to Google, I need to find you, okay? You need to be just like Monica. When I'm going to go to a city and I want to see an agent in, we'll say, let me see, what's a good city, guys? Give me a city.
San Diego.
I can't spell that. D-I-G. There it is.
Yep, D-I-E-G-O.
Realtors. Okay. When this comes up, you need to be here and every single portal available. Even if they're not going to accept you, you need to put your name in there, because when somebody goes to look for you, they need to be able to find you. Okay. Next one. I hope you guys got that one. That's going to cost you no money when you sign up. Then you need to sign up with Zillow, Realtor.com. You don't pay them money. You're just signing up so people can find you. Now, let me ask you a question, Diana. You just heard what I said. Tell me, Diana, when I said to sign up with every Google, anything that's out there on Google, what did you understand me to say?
To go on Google and do like Google reviews and have like your clients put them on Google as well.
Anything you can possibly do, anything. This way, if I'm driving around and I keep seeing Diana over and over and over, I'm going to say, who's Diana? Who's Gabe? Who's Alma? And when I go to Google, I find you. That is not going to give you business, but when they need to find you, you'll be there. Social media. How I use my social media is a little different, but now I'm kind of doing it like everybody else is. But I use social media not to get clients, but it's my billboard online. So at the moment, all my messages are positive towards the realtors and positive towards the consumer. And the way that I deliver mine is, I don't get a lot of business from it, but when the client calls me, the client goes, I looked you up on social media and I see what you do, blah, blah, blah. And we get a lot of business from that. So let's keep going. Then I use my tracking numbers. Every piece of marketing that I have, okay, every piece. when I run a newsletter, I do a billboard, I do an open house, whatever I do, everything has a tracking number. What that tracking number does is when the call comes in, it says yard sign, ad call, newspaper call. So I know where my money is being spent wisely. Tracking number and landing pages. Every landing page I have, you have to be able to track where your business is coming from. Because if you're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on Zillow, you're spending $3,000, $4,000 on Realtor.com, you're spending $3,000 or $4,000 on Google. I'm exaggerating. You don't have to spend that much money. Even if you're spending $300, you need to make sure that that business is working for you. And let me give you another example. So when I was showing you this, this tells me my sources of where my business comes from, okay? Each line does. So you need to make sure you know where your business is coming from so you're not wasting your money. I'll give you an example. I get calls from vendors and they say, hey, I got the next hottest thing. You should buy my product. First thing I tell them is, well, who's your client? Well, we can't disclose that. Well, I need to know who your client is because today all I got to do is go to Zillow, type in your first name, your last name, then type the word Zillow because Zillow tracks everybody today. So I'm able to see your client's numbers to see if your product is actually true. Then I want to call your client and consume. They usually will tell me, oh, we can't do that. And that's where I get a lot of my products for free. Now I tell them, look, I sell a lot of houses. You can use me as your poster child. So then they put me in their portal and they give me their products for free. Okay. It's just like an influencer, but on down here on the world where we see stuff. Let me ask you a question. Catherine, with what I just said, tracking numbers and landing pages, what did you get from that?
Okay, to be honest, I feel like it's so overwhelming because I am not a techie person. So I was like, just give me the basis. Where do I start? You know what I mean? Because I know that you probably have assistants that take care of that for you, and that is golden, and I think that's awesome. But for me, when I get to that point where I need an assistant, because I will, I definitely want to delegate that. But that is something that I know would definitely increase my business. But yes, it seems so overwhelming when you show all those spreadsheets and everything. I'm like, oh my God, how do I even get started?
For you. For Google, you sign up at night. You go to every single portal, you sign up. For social media, listen to Gabe. He's telling you how to do it. You know, you follow his whatever he's posting, follow it. For tracking numbers, call CallRail. It's the one company available, and they have videos to show you how it works. You know, I'm not a techie person. You're right. I have a young team and they take care of it for me. And then the landing pages, there's multiple companies out there and they're minimal. They charge you 50, 60 bucks. All it is they give you maybe for 80 bucks, they give you 4 landing pages because all you really need one is for whatever ad you're going to run. Okay. So I hope that helped. But thank you for bringing it up because my team always tells me, Angel, you talk too fast, you overwhelm them. And I don't mean to do that, but that's why I'm kind of engaging with you. All right, now let me tell you then, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's helpful and I can see where you're going with it. And obviously it's good. It's not bad the way you're explaining it. It's just for me, I was just like, oh my gosh. But yes.
No,
I'm just being honest. Yeah.
You said, don't put me on the spot. Not now, please.
I know you said Catherine. I was like, oh, buddy.
That's not me. I hope there's another Catherine on the line. All right. Well, let me tell you the next one. We all need to brand ourselves, not the company. And let me tell you what I mean by brand. You know, I could go to a store in Whittier. I could go to a function in our community, right? And when I walk in, people come up to me and they say, hey, Joe, man, I see you all the time. So I can walk into a restaurant and people will tell me, oh my God, you're the Angel and Patty, the guys that I see all over the sea. So in our city, we're almost celebrities, right? People send me drinks. It's great when I'm in my city. And how I created that was this, watch. Coke, we all know what Coke is, right? You got to brand your name. You see my name here and you see the company down below. The name of the company is the same size as my name and my last name is here per DRE regulations. So you got to brand your name. Now, visualize this. I'm driving down the street and I see Edith Derm. Wow. Wow. Every time I go down the street, I see her name over and over and over on open house signs, even though it's not her house. It could be someone else's listing that was borrowed, but they see the name over and over. Now I'm frustrated. Who the heck is this Edith? So I go to Google, I Google her, I find her. That's how you brand yourself at the lowest cost possible, even if you don't have a listing. There's a lot of realtors in my community. I used to go on 15 years ago and teach everybody, and they've become very powerful realtors. And now they combined it with social media and they're just crushing it. All right. Now I'll give you another example. So what I've done, because I wanted to leverage myself, right? And you can do the same, you know, right now, Natalie Romero, are you on the line? Natalie? Hello? She must be busy. But what about Mary Lou? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Mary Lou, you're a realtor?
Yes, I am. I'm a broker associate.
Okay, question for you, just so I know. A lot of people don't have open houses, but if you were to have one, or one of your peers was to have one, who puts up your signs?
My husband,
And how many does he put up?
something between 40 to 65.
You guys are amazing. You hit it right on the money. So now I see Mary Lou over and over and over and over. I Google you. That is what I'm talking about, branding yourselves, okay? And some of you are powerful on the line, you know, but at the moment, I just want to engage so others can hear us, what we do to get to where we are, okay? So branding for myself has been a big part. You know, back in the day when I started, which a long time ago, they used to have a white sign with red letters that said open house. What I did was you always got to mimic someone else. So what I did is I put that same color sign, and on top, instead of saying open, I put angel, and on the bottom where it would say open house was Patty. And people were thinking that they were seeing my signs all over the city, but the reality, they were mine and somebody else's, where they were using the traditional white sign that said open house. So if there is a powerful realtor in your city and you're trying to grow your business, mimic their colors to begin to, people can recognize what your name is. And that's through branding, guys, okay? Then the majority of us don't have an agenda, all right? Everybody kind of flies by night. They don't start their day. You know, here, I know what, I'll give you guys a quick example. Check this out. So my agenda is right here. This is my agenda for today, Thursday. It tells me I'll be done at 6:41. I already woke up. I already took a shower. I 99'd it, so it goes to another page. I already called this coach, and I called a second coach. I have an audience that I text this morning. I started to do it. I didn't finish. I didn't get to go to the tailors, so I'm going to move that to the bottom. But look what happens right now. When I hit agenda update, it recalculates my day, and it says I'm going to be done at 7:20. But I gave myself 2 hours and 25 days. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm telling you what I have to do to get listings. Basically, in this class, I'm just giving you a general idea. Then I am having this class with you guys. So I'm getting this out of the way here. And this morning when I came in, I set up my day. So 99 this. So now this tells me I'm going to be done somewhere about 3 o'clock. So I have time to do other things. That's what I mean by an agenda. If you're going to do real estate, you own your own business. You open up at 9 and you close at whatever time you're going to do. I open up at 9 and I close at 6, and I work 4 days a week is what I do. Now, let me ask somebody a question. Get ready, guys. Let's see who's listening. Viero, Layer, did I get that right? Viero, Vera, you there?
Yes, it's Vero.
Vero, what do you use for an agenda? Do you use a book, something online? How do you manage your day?
I have to be honest that my agenda, I used my phone, but it's not as busy as your stuff.
Well, just that we own a business. We all do. You need to know what you're going to do from the moment you open the door to the day you close the door. Every day of my day is pretty much well balanced. As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of my partners yesterday, a team member, an affiliate. In that conversation, I was telling him that I need to hire a coach that is beyond my level, can show me how to take each one of these items and even maximize them, because I've done all I can, and I'm sure there's ways of maximizing it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you could see the next one there, it is a CRM. Watch, this is what you need to do every single day if you have an agenda. So every single day, these are the daily calls, emails, and texts that go in. I personally will call 15 hot clients that are put on my desk, or that I personally contact. I call 15 past clients. My team every single day, and if anybody has a question, asks me, this could be overwhelming, but if you listen carefully, there's going to be a few nuggets you're going to grab from here. But every day the team calls about 48, what we call eight hot leads. We get about 50 leads in a given in a week, seller leads. And by the way, if you guys are wondering what I do with all the buyers, they get trickled down to my team. I have a team A that get my immediate leads, and I got a team B that gets my second sources of leads, right? And in a moment, I'm going to show where all the leads come from. All right. I see I'm entertaining you guys because it looks like nobody's gotten off. We still have everybody on. My team tells me I talk too fast. I'm trying to learn from Gabe to slow it down. So if you have a question, put it in the chat box and I'll look in there and I'll answer it. But the A leads, we call 20 times in 2 weeks. You guys got to do the same. So if you're going to have an open house, wherever you get your leads, you got to make sure you follow up with those leads. My B leads, we were not successful in the first 2 weeks, then they become a B lead, and we call those every other week. Okay. Then what happens with and this is where you all should get, maybe you should get a virtual assistant because they're cheap, right? My virtual assistant costs me $333, and she gives me 2.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And she calls my C leads, right, every 30 days, and my D leads every 45, 60 days. Why do I do this? Because you all have to get a database of sellers, right? And you're going to be calling those sellers for the rest of your life to your realtor. And that's where you're going to draw from. And they're the ones that are going to start listing with you in time. Let's see. Des, you there?
Yes, hi.
This part on following up clients, what did you get out of it? Did I explain this well? Did I overwhelm people? What's your thoughts?
No, I feel like you explained it well. Honestly, for me, it's like, I just kind of need to get out there and do it because if I'm being honest, I'm not making any calls. So when you put it like this, it's like, okay, we can kind of break it down. You have a plan, you stick with the plan, and then you just do it, And then I really like your method of the ABCD because it's easy, and it's easy to keep track and, just follow up, and not a one-time call, but you're being consistent.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. And do you have a team member on the team?
No, solo.
Did you say so?
No, a solo agent.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like you said no and so, and I thought you were going to continue talking. That's why I stayed quiet.
Sorry.
Well, at the moment, you got that part of it. Okay, so we all have to have an agenda, okay, to control our day, and we have to have a CRM. The next one is you have to have. Do you guys see this little bar what says participants? Do you see that on my screen? No? Good. I just want to make sure that the next one is not being blocked. You have to have an irresistible offer. I just showed you all the tools that we have, and this is where the majority of realtors fail. You don't have an irresistible offer. What is an irresistible offer? Okay, I'll give you an idea. An irresistible offer would be, there used to be a company called Purple Bricks. And they came here, I think it was 6 years ago. They came from, I believe, Europe, and they were offering what's called a flat fee for $33,000. They were destroying a lot of realtors. I had to compete with them, so I came up with the formula that I call the flat fee. This flat fee was more of an illusion. Marketing is illusion, guys. So the flat fee, people were asking, what's a flat fee? Exactly. What is a flat fee? my phone would ring. I'll say it again. Flat fee has to be disclosed what it is, but it would make my phone ring. People would call me and ask me, what is the flat fee? Okay, that was my irresistible offer while Purple Bricks was here. Then what happened was Purple Bricks, one of their managers came to work for me because they could not come into Whittier because my offer was so irresistible. It beat Purple Bricks. Earlier today, Gabe was talking about all the options that he offers. Redfin is one of my competitors. So when they come into my city, we go back to back because they offer 3D, we have it, aerial, we have it, staging, we have it. Everything they offer, we offer, but at a better service in the local area. So my whole point is you have to create an irresistible offer that the consumer is going to say, why should I go with Redfin when I can go with Edith? I can go with Monica. I can go with Alonzo. I can go with Gabe. Another irresistible offer that I have is that I tell people, I'll pay you $100 just to meet with me at no obligation. Okay. That gets me an appointment. Okay. That gets me an appointment. Now you can rewrite yours and you can put your disclaimer. I'll pay it to you when you sign the listing agreement. I'll say it again. You can make an irresistible offer, right? That is good for you. I was talking to Gabe yesterday. There's a new market, right? And there's a lot of money to be made, but you got to take it as you're going to help people, which is the notice of default market. And I went to a function, a guy talked, it went through my head. I went to another function, I was having dinner and they said they brought it up. Notice of defaults, those consumers are going to need help, okay? You have to go in with the idea that you're going to help them. And I'm offering them $100 just to meet with me. But from there, those people, you got to tell them a story. And I'm going to give you an idea of a story, okay? And this is my true story. My first recession that I went through was 1990. And I remember it was horrible. I was fresh. I came in at 86. I'm making a ton of money. I think I was probably making 150,000 and still working part-time, another 30,000. And I remember when in that year, the real estate market stopped. I mean, it stopped. And I was borrowing money from my dad, paying back, borrowing money from my friends, pay them back. Someone came to me and told me how to get out of it. And I remember that, and I've never filed bankruptcy. Through that, now I am telling my story to the notice of default. So we all have a story. So if you tell your story to the consumer, they will find they will find that they need to talk to you. So in sharing it with Gabe, you know, I shared that with him. I'm sharing it with you guys. That's a new market that you should be targeting because they're going to be needing help. And whether they don't sell today, if you help them in 3 to 4 years, right, when they're ready, you're going to be their realtor for life. And here's how you're going to save them, by the way. For the majority, if they're behind on their payments, they can't get out of it. It's too late. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell them that they got to bring in a family member. They got to refinance that house just to save it. So then they can get the lower rate. Make sense? I'm going to ask somebody a question. Get ready. Monica Singer, I know you're always busy. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Monica, so when I just said right now, salvage, and if I was to tell the client, hey, I'm going to help you, let's refinance, get your family there, you can sell it in 3 years. You know, don't you think that would make the consumer grateful if you pull it off?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, and you do the luxury homes. This is across the board. Whittier alone, my city, you got to find an affiliate. We have 90 properties going into notice of default. But what I'm doing is I'm leveraging myself. So I brought in my young team members because I'm a brand in the city. What they're going to do is I let them know that when we close one, my TC gets $1,000 and the commission that's left, it gets divided in half and my 2 young team members get half and half. So I already set them up. They're probably going to make between $150,000 to $180,000 just by doing what I'm telling them to do. So if anything, during this conversation, I really hope you're hearing what I'm saying, because if you position yourself the way I just told you, you will all be able to profit from it and help the consumer because they're going to refer clients to you. Now, does anybody have a question?
No, this is this is really good. I love your speed and I love the questions that you're keep asking the audience, keeping them engaged. A lot of value. Awesome job, man. Keep it up.
Well, I learned from you, man. What are you talking about? I just barely started talking to people just recently. Let's see. Don't slow down. You're speaking perfectly. Woo. Okay. How many times a day did you call them? I did answer that question, right? I think I did. All right, so let me show you where the sources, how they're working for us. So right now, these are free. You guys can all do this at whatever level you want. So open houses. I have between 5 and 7 open houses on a Saturday, the same with the Sunday. Okay. Through my open houses, we have about 60 to 70 people coming through, families. Okay, so when you count the people, it's more. We got 60 to 70 families coming through. So people are looking for homes. We get about 10 leads from there in a given month because they see the commercial over and over. Past clients, you know, that are going to be doing something or they refer something, it's about 3 in a given month. And then my Google presence, okay? My Google presence between, you know, Google ads that I run and between Zillow, Yelp, and everything that I log on to, we get about 25 of those in a given month. And then I use my social medias commercial. These are all the things that you guys can do to get business. Then there's the paid stuff, okay? So right now I got it down, dialed down. We spend about $1,000 on Google ads and YouTube ads, okay? On Zillow, I only spend $1,065. I used to spend, I think, $10,000 a month. But what happened is that's a lot of money, and they start giving us the referrals. And I'll tell you another story. I think it was 3 years ago. I was with Zillow for a long time, and somewhere along the way, they redid my contract. Every listing I had that belonged to me, those calls came directly to me. Well, when they changed the contract, they stopped giving me those leads, and they would only give me the zip codes that I paid for. I was pissed. So I was stuck in the contract for another 4 months. When I got out of it, I took that $10,000, and that's when I started offering the consumer $100 just to meet with me and $1,000 sign-up bonus. That took me to the next level. So the first one was the flat fee. The flat fee made me a lot of money, and it still does. And now the $100 and $1,000 sign-up bonus is helping me, because we got a lot of powerful agents in my community, by the way, guys. So you got to come up with a message that is compelling, that is irresistible for you. And that's how I replace my Zillow. Every problem that comes up, guys, you got to have a solution. Think outside the box. You know, talk to me, talk to Gabe. We'll give you the solution. You have a solution, DM me. I will give you the solution how to maximize whatever the problem would be. Social media, we spend about $500. We don't spend a lot of money on that because I use it as a commercial for our immediate people. So every client that has come through my way, we make sure they see our social media all the time. Expired listings, guys. Here's the next one. This one's pretty cheap, guys. Expired listings. Let me see. Does anybody in the audience go after expired listings? All right, get ready. I'm going to ask
I
you guys.
do.
Who? Tell me about it. Who's that?
This is Diana.
Tell me, Diana. How do you get them?
Well, I do a lot of cold calling with the expired. So that's kind of like that's how I got my business last year, I guess, and some of it this year. Just kind of following up and just I guess finding their motivation and their why again, and why it didn't work at the beginning.
Big money, guys. Big money. Our new world, a lot of realtors are going to list a home, didn't list it right, won't know how to get the client to reduce that price. So you need to master it now. And by the way, go to every listing appointment you can possibly go. Every single one. Go. Practice. All athletes practice. Baseball, golfers, football, everybody practices. Even if they're not ready, go to the appointment. Practice on real people. So when you're ready to go, you're going to crush your listing appointment. I have an amazing listing presentation, and the package, when I'm done, just like Gabe, we win every single time we go in. So on the expireds at the moment, I figured out, I don't call them, they call me. So what happens is the way they see my ads, because I'm targeting the ad, right, through third-party companies and SEOs. When they see my ad, they see the branding on a weekly basis. What ends up happening is on this past week, there was somebody that was listed with another realtor. If you look at my Zillow account, it's the property on Scott. They were listed with another realtor. They kept seeing my stuff. They were only listed with them for 15 days. They canceled them and they listed with me. But I'm fair. We gave back that agent a 25% referral fee. Today, even though you have a listing contract, you can't force the client to stay with you. They can legally cancel you. And that's what happened to that realtor. But I don't want to mess up my reputation. So we're paying him a 25% referral fee. They had it at $839. I put it on, and then they dropped it to $799. Hear this. They had it at $839. They dropped it to $799. I listed it for $749, okay? Because they see my advertising. I saw the listing presentation. Point for you all is expireds and NODs are the cheapest business you're going to be able to get at the moment. Now, if you can't get to them, I mail out. Every single letter I mail out only costs me 99 cents. And that includes the labor, the letter, the window envelope, the information printed on it. The whole thing is 99 cents out the door. So I don't have to door knock, but I would encourage you all to door knock if you have the time. Every day you should be hitting at least 25 contacts by door. It won't take you long. And you should be calling every single day, 10, 15 people, okay? Out of the blues, cold call. And if you do this consistently, you will start creating an inventory of sellers, a database. Now, at the moment, does anybody have a question on what I just said? Sandy, ask me a question. Sandy?
And I want to encourage everyone out there. Look, you got Angel and Patty Hernandez. I always say Patty because that's how I was introduced to them, even though there's only one of them. There's always two. But I want to encourage all of you guys. We have Angel and Patty Hernandez here who are taking 200 plus listings per year. I need you guys to engage. This is your opportunity to extract the wisdom, extract the gold from Angel Hernandez himself. And the only way he's going to elevate and deliver what he needs to deliver to you is with all 26 of you that are on here, dropping comments in the comment section, asking questions, engaging, being present. I would even recommend everyone having their cameras on. This is how you learn at the next level. If you want to earn the money, top producers are earning. If you want to take the listing, top listing agents are doing, then what you want to do is you want to do what they're doing. And look at us, Monica Singer, top producer, camera on. Angel, top producer, camera on. Gabe, top producer, camera on. We're all engaged right now. Mary Lou, broker owner, camera on. If you want what we have, you got to do what we do. I want you guys to all over engage. Turn the camera on, ask the questions, because he is giving you, this man's a multi-millionaire, and he is giving you gold right now. Angel, you're doing awesome, buddy.
Well, and I'll share this. This is what I realized, okay? And watch, I'm going to do this real quick, okay? Here's what I realized, guys. Most agents, when we pay a coach, okay? At the moment, I'm looking at one coach. It's going to cost me $6,000 a month because I'm poor. I only make 1.2 million, another 3 million. I'm poor. I'm what you call rich poor. I want to be rich. By the way, the income I just shared with you has nothing to do with my flips, has nothing to do with rental properties. That is pure real estate income. And I'm tired of being rich, poor. I want to be rich. So it's time for me to hire a coach. When we get free information, unfortunately, we don't do nothing with it. I do. Gabe does, and I'm sure the rest of you do. But at any given moment, when we're giving information, he's right. We should be engaging. When Gabe's talking to you and he's delivering from the heart. I'm hearing him, So I turn my camera on, right, so he can see me. And that's if I'm in a position to do it. But at the moment, when he's sharing, I'm sharing, when we all share with each other, we really should be listening to each other because it will make a difference in our lives. So on that note, I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story, okay? I think I got 10 minutes. I am not a professional speaker, but I'm going to tell you, I got started in real estate. My dad, I was probably 18, 19 year olds, and then I'll give you the rest of the information. 18, 19, right? He says, my dad will call me pinche pendejo back then. Okay, so pendejo, ven para acá. So I go, yeah, dad. He goes, sit down. And he goes, I want you to, this is my real estate agent. I want you to walk her outside. My dad doesn't sound that mean, but that's how I remember it. So I said, okay, I'm probably 19, 20, I can't remember. We walk out, I'm walking the real estate agent outside, and I walk over to her car. Back then, I didn't know how to read body language. And I really, body language today is important, guys. And I walk her outside, and I can't think of anything to ask her. I remember her car, though. It's a red Volkswagen. This is 1986, 85. She's driving like a 1972 Volkswagen that is faded. The bumper's rusty. And I look at her and I said, and I didn't notice the car. I just remember today. I said, how much money do you make? And she looked startled. I saw her body language, and she says, 70,000. That's all I heard, 70,000. Back then, today, that would be about $250,000. I went, fuck, I'm going to be a realtor. Okay, sorry I cussed, but it remembers me. And I'm telling this for a reason, because we're always in the same position. So I now have, I'm going to get my license, and I'm gun ho, because that motivated me. I think 6 months later, the passion, the drive is starting to wear out, and that's all realtors. So my dad goes, pendejo, ven para acá. Yes, dad, I'm gonna come over. So I sit down again, and he goes, I'm gonna tell you a story, son. And he said, mijo. I just said son for those of you who don't understand what it means. He says, there's a tree up somewhere, wherever it's at, and up there there's mom bird and dad bird and kid bird, baby bird. And one day they're going to push him off that tree, and he's going to learn to fly. If he doesn't learn to fly when he's falling down, when he hits the floor on impact, he's going to die. And I said, okay, well, what does that have to do with me? He goes, when are you going to learn to fly? Wow. My God, that woke me up. And that got me to do real estate, and I've never stopped since then. Here's my point. Ever since my dad told me that story, now I've learned anybody that I run into, I listen, because when they're giving us nuggets, there is gold in there. You got to find it. So with Gabe, myself, and everybody and ourselves, if we work together, we'll get to the point where we need to get to survive this shift. Now, does anybody have any questions?
I actually have a question. Backtracking back, this is Diana. Backtracking back to the expireds. When would you say it's the best time to call expireds, like during the day, like mornings, evenings, or like what is the strategy that you would suggest?
We're restructured, okay? The ISA, because we're tired, man. So, because we have a lot of calls to make. So right now, my virtual ISA is calling from 7 to 8:45 at night. That's insane. And I know people are going to get pissed, but we're calling from 7 to 8:45 because you're going to find them home. And if it's a super hot one, we're shooting to the house to drop off a package. But remember, so is everybody else. So if you're going to drop a message, you only have a few seconds to get their attention. And I'm at the moment, for us, how I'm doing ours is they're seeing me on the street. So for you, my suggestion is call them early morning, call them after 7. Truly. What do you think, Gabe? When should they be calling them?
When I was cold calling, when I first got started, I was on the phone by 7:30 in the morning. My door knocking was in the evening. So from 4:30 to 7:30, I was door knocking, because you have to figure people who are going to work at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30, they're getting home by 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. So I'm out there at 4:30 in the afternoon when the sun would go down. It wouldn't be as hot. I would have my flyers fully in a suit. I love being in a suit when I door knock. It just makes me stand out. I look a little more professional. And I'm hitting the doors from 4:30 to 7:30 in the evening, and I'm cold calling 7:30 in the morning to about 11:30 in the morning, depending. That was when I first started, and all I did was about 6 hours worth of prospecting per day. And if you scroll back on my social media on Instagram, all of you can see I documented all of it. 7:30 in the morning, I'm right there with my cockpit. I have my scripts, my objection handlers, and on the right-hand side, I have my closings, my Bluetooth in my ear. I'm standing up, already excited. You'll see me at 7:30 in the morning. No one's in the office. I'm the only one calling. And then I'll take a small lunch break, go to the gym, shower, head out to door knocking for the next few hours. Your only thing that you should be focusing on is making contacts and writing contracts in the real estate game.
That was beautiful. And you know what? You hit it right on the nose, because I haven't, to be honest with you, all my life, the way that I build my business, it calls me, I don't call it. So when I was door knocking, and that was probably back in between 86 and 90, I would wear white shoes, you know, and when I hit, hey, I would make the call to the client, go, hey, I was the guy with the white shirts. So whatever, remember, you have to have an image that people won't forget. So if you're truly gonna knock, you need to wear something that when you call them, they saw you on the door ring, because you know that's everybody has, they're not gonna open the door. They have the door cameras. Hi, I was the guy in the pink shirt. Hi, I was the guy with the hat. Hi, I was the lady with the whatever. Do you follow? They need to remember. So you need a signature when you go to that door. Every marketing piece you have has to have something that they'll remember you and an irresistible offer. So great input. Anybody else have a question? Someone asked, thanks for all the gems. Can you share with us your process once you take a listing? Sure. But I think the process of taking you know what? Actually, that's a really good one. In the last 3 years, I didn't have to do anything because everything was selling. When the market shifted 45 days ago, I had 20 listings and the sellers are calling me and they're pissed. And why are you not selling my house? I had to cancel I think maybe 4 or 5 of those, because I couldn't get them back to reality. They were stuck in a reality that was no longer there. So what I do now is on Monday, I send them a report that tells them how many people came through the house, how many were families altogether. So it's families 10, people 35. How many times people viewed the property on Zillow, okay? How many agent calls we got, and what the current interest rate is for that day. Every Monday they get that report. This way, they're not angry with me. And when I suggest a price reduction, it's written in there. So they don't sit there and they go, you never told me, you didn't say the interest rates, because the rates are going to continue going up. This has prevented, and my stress level has calmed down because they're no longer pissed off and angry at me. Now, comps, guys, I'll give you, well, does somebody have another question? Because he said, how do you take a listing, radius calls, open houses, flyers, pay? So open houses, when we have, here, watch, check this out. Let's see, share my screen again. And open houses. It's a madness. Look at this, guys. So if you can see that, right now, this is Saturday. So this weekend we're having, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 open houses. It tells the client on my team where the keys are. It tells them who the driver is and who the host is, okay? And this report gets updated after the open house. Each property, like let's see if they posted it here. They normally on the side, they post how many signs are going to go up. So sometime today will be there. How many signs are going up, and then who are co-branding. So that's how it's done. Okay. And let me go back. What was the other question? Hope this is not too much for you guys. Hey, where did the questions go?
The next question we have is, will you consider a workshop to come up with an irresistible offer?
What was that?
We have a question from Edith. Would you consider a workshop to come up with an irresistible offer? So maybe next Thursday, Angel, for the 10 o'clock segment or 10 o'clock segment, we can have you do a 30-minute segment on how to come up with an irresistible offer for the listing.
What I do, and you know this, Gabe, if you go to, I would encourage you to follow me on my Instagram page, which is this one, okay? Because what I do every Tuesday, prior to me knowing Gabe, this is it right here. Prior to me knowing Gabe, I show people what we do, okay? So I'll just mimic the same thing that I do on Tuesday. And here's the webinar sign up here. I'll just do the same thing that I do on Tuesday. I'll do it for you next Thursday. So, and I'll try to slow it down, okay? But at the moment, It's the unforgettable, Gabe. What was that question again? Oh, the irresistible offer. Here, at the moment for you guys, I would truly say that, offer the consumer $100 to meet with me at no obligation. Way down bottom at the letter, you're going to put the disclaimer, and the disclaimer is going to be once the house is listed or once the house is sold. By the way, I do flip houses, right? So when it slowed down, I ended up taking my crew, and now I fix clients' properties. I make the illusion that we're spending $3,000, but truly I'm getting it done for $900, $800. I just listed a luxury home here in Friendly Hills, is our area, and I listed it for 1.5, and I spent $1,500 of my money, right? But it's better than paying for a Zillow ad, because they gave me a property and it got me a client, and we'll get that property sold pretty quickly. Am I sharing my screen right now?
No, we're looking at you.
Okay, here. See, I got to become you, man. Let's go back here.
And while you're doing that, Diana has a question. She asked, what
Can you
is
see
the
it now?
strategy for pricing in today's market? Yeah, we can see your page now.
Ask me again.
Diana's question is, what is the strategy for pricing in today's market?
I showed you guys at the beginning, and here I'll show you again. Let's go back here. So right now, this is my tool for strategy, okay? So I tell the client that in March, interest rates were 3%. If somebody bought a property for $1 million, their payment today would be $4,700, okay? In today's world, 7.25 to get a payment of almost, see here, 5,000, see here, 4,700. That means today the house would be worth 800,000. So when it comes to pricing strategy, I have to tell the client, look, prices are continuously dropping. I'm going to suggest if the value of the house today is worth between, because the comps are still there, probably up to 900. We would be listing this house for $795 with full intention of selling this house for $850 to $875. But if the interest rates go up, we're going to end up selling it for $800. But it allows my client to mentally prepare themselves for that value. And I have a lot of madnesses here that I have more tools that I use to crush my competition, and I do it over and over and over. So on Tuesday, it's when I have these demonstrations and I show everybody how all this works. So anybody, let me see, what other questions do we have? Got them. That's it. I did good.
The next question we have is, do you use a custom branded listing presentation? If so, what do you use? That, by the way,
Yes.
we have a lot of feedback on that spreadsheet. That, in my opinion, Angel, that was amazing. I've actually never seen you talk about that before. And Edith says, love the spreadsheet. Wow.
It's one of the tools that I paid a company, what was it? I think 10 years ago, $5,000 when we created it. And by the way, everything I do evolves. I change our system every 3 months. It used to be every 3 years. But with this new world, every 3 months, we're evolving and we're changing. So truthfully, this past year, this year, the goal was to crush and make. We thought it was going to continue. So the goal was to sell, God, $6 million in gross income, right? But the world changed. I'm back down to be poor, probably just a little under 4. But you all should have your goals set now. You got October, November, and December to get your thing in place. So if you don't have, I'm not a coach, but you guys got to go find a coach. By the way, Gabe, we're having an event right after yours, which is November 3rd. Mine is November 4th. I'm going to show people on November 4th how I'm selling. This year, I'll probably end up closing this year at about 220 properties, okay? I'm going to show everybody this coming Thursday, myself, what I cover, but as much as I can. I got another agent, her name is Nahid. She does over 80 transactions. She's buyer heavy. I have another agent who's well-balanced. He does 50 transactions, but he does a lot of social media, land, and he's got both balance, buyers and sellers. And then I have a young agent named Donald Landaverde, who does about 25 transactions, but she's touchable. Everybody can mimic what she does. So I encourage you to show up. I'm going to start doing these every 60 days because I have to give back to my community. It's not branded. There's no brand on it at whatever. It's just to get people to get to the next level to survive this shift. Has anybody was anybody a realtor back in 2000? What was it? In 2000? Was anybody a realtor? Let me see the cameras. Come on, guys. Let me see you guys.
2002.
Cameras. Okay, and just raise your hand. 2000. Anybody? Okay, so most of you are new. All right. Has anybody been to the 2007 shift?
Me,
Okay.
Marilu.
Okay. The 2000 shift, this is different. We're all going to have a better chance this way. But the 2007 shift was scary because lending had finished. Lenders, attorneys, I was handling bank repos back then. You got to follow the market. But this one's different. We're all going to be able to survive as long as we have we're ready for it. And what we're doing here, we'll all be ready for it. It's 10:57, Gabe. What would you like to do?
Any last second questions for anyone that want to chime in, or even any feedback on today's training for Angel?
I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Angel, thank you so much for this class. This has been great. But what are you focusing your money into right now to grow your business? Is it marketing or coaching or what?
I just told you. It was right here. Remember? Let's see. Where was that? So right now, where I'm focusing my money, that's where it's at. Everything I do is at low cost. Okay. I mean, I really don't spend a lot of money. But as soon as I saw the shift coming, because I use tracking numbers and landing pages, that lets me focus where I'm going to spend my money. Okay. And truthfully, right now, I have a payroll, right? Let me get out of this. Let's go back to stop sharing. I did stop sharing, right? Can you guys see can you all see each other here?
We can see each other. We can see each other and you, but we can't see the screen that you're sharing.
I wasn't. I thought I was, but I wasn't. But to answer your question, truthfully, I think right now my driver payroll and my vans, I think that's my biggest one right there. So I spend about, I think, $4,000 a month, right? Because I got to insure my drivers. By the way, for all of you, you're here, whatever your net worth is, you need to make sure you have insurance on your vehicles to cover your net worth. You are realtors. If you're driving and you hit somebody and they sue you, you are screwed, So you need to have enough insurance to cover your net worth. One, two, you need to make sure you have insurance on your business. If something happens to me right now, I have insurance to cover my business, and I have insurance if I become permanently disabled or partially disabled. Just something to give you one more last nugget before you guys, get out of it. And many of you may own apartment buildings and stuff. You need to make sure your net worth covers all that should you be sued. All right.
Cool.
And you all have to have a living trust. I don't sell living trust, but you got to have a living trust.
If you guys want more of Angel, you got to come back next Thursday. At 10 o'clock, we're going to try to book Angel every single Thursday for a minimum of 30 minutes. As you know, he has a wealth of knowledge. There's so much he can teach you about listing business, how to build a team, how to run a brokerage, because that's what he is, a broker owner. Not only that, how to create wealth, build wealth. He can teach you how to flip properties, who should be on your team, a trust attorney, a CPA, financial advisor. Angel has a wealth of knowledge. He's in the organization with us. You're going to get him every Thursday. We can book him. More importantly, make sure you guys follow Angel on social media. Go follow him on Instagram, become his friend, follow him. And on November 4th, Angel has an event in person. All of you should be registering for that. You've had a taste of the value he can deliver. I don't believe in all these coaches, mentors, managers, brokers, teaching and coaching us that aren't even in sales anymore, that aren't producing at a high level. Yeah. This guy is flipping properties. He's a broker owner. He runs a mega team and he's taking listings.
Wait, I'm not a broker. I have a broker's license. I have a team.
He has his broker's license, but he runs his team. He runs his office like a broker. If you go in there, it's all branded to him. No one else is there. That guy's running the whole shop. So November 4th, make sure you guys show up at his event, follow him on the training, and thank you guys for jumping on board. Angel, I'm looking at the messages. Everyone is excited about your training. You kept 25 plus people on here for over an hour. So thank you for your time today, brother.
Thank you, Angel.
See you. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you,
right.
Angel.
See you guys later. See you guys at 1 o'clock.